I totally forgot to film an intro, but this is the look we're doing today. Very pretty green, very vibrant, and this is super in detail and it's super simple. Here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna use one of my old favorite foundations. This is the Maybelline FitMe Matte and Poreless foundation. And I'm using the shade 118 today, which is my shade when I've lost my tan. I am like a little bit tan right now, but I'm going to be using a lot of bronzer, so I can fix this right up. For me, I like to just dot foundation all over my face and just have pretty much like an even amount in each area. So it'll just, and I just smooth it over with my F4 brush. I have been testing another makeup brush recently and I like it. It's just more dense than this. I feel like this just gives a smoother spread faster. And the other brush does absorb some of the products, which I really don't like. But the brush itself is pretty good. But I'm just gonna go after this, and I will share like my more detailed update thoughts in like an updated favorite like makeup tools and brushes video. But I'm spraying this out and see, this just smooths everything over really nicely. Yeah, I said I kind of have a tan right now, but I guess it's not as deep as I thought, because I don't know how it looks on camera right now, but in real life this honestly was just a perfect match. But I will be using a lot of bronzer, so no worries. Switched over to a deeper shade of the cream bronzer I've been using, but this is a Revolution Cream Bronze in the shade Medium, and this one I like a lot more because this deeper tone is a lot cooler. Now I pretty much grabbed all the shades to add to my professional kit because I really do like this formula, and it's cream, so I can just scoop it out with the spatula easily and yeah, keep everything nice and sanitized. But I really like this bronzer a lot. It's really easy to work with and just melts into the skin like this. And I feel like this one, I don't know if it's like just me, but this one feels like it has like a better finish than the light shade, even though I wouldn't think the formula is different. So I feel like I'm using less product for this one because it is deeper, so that just might be it, because I do go really heavy with the light shade. But basically warming up like the perimeters of my face and bringing it in quite a bit. And because it's a cooler shade, it's bringing a lot of dimension back, so I'm doubling it as a contour, but I will use a powder bronzer to add more warmth later. Look at that, so beautiful. Using a like smaller angled brush to contour my nose. I don't really get it that straight, honestly, on the first shot. I just blend everything out well. And my setting powder does have a little bit of pigment to it, so it'll take away like the harshness of the line. So don't blend out too much, because if you're blending out your nose contour too much and spreading out, you're kind of defeating the purpose of the contour. You really want to just put it where you want to like snatch. And for me, that's the middle, and the bridge right here will help kind of upturn your nose, and then the sides right here. But I'm following like the natural contours of my face and then bringing it to my eyebrows like this. Go ahead with my concealer. I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Wear Concealer, and I use the shade 345 Oatmeal. I'm just gonna dot a little bit here. With these bigger doe foot applicators, you do get a lot more product. But this is a nice brightening shade on me. And I'm using a smaller like cat paw brush. These are the brushes I was testing out. And I'm just gonna go ahead and spread this out and taking whatever is excess right here and pretty much putting it under my eyebrow and just blending that in. And these brushes make it really easy to blend, like just like that. What I like to do is kind of like spread out my concealer like this, and then apply the excess and kind of go back and forth. Like this one, I have more product. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more product here and basically even everything out. But I like to kind of let this sit a little bit as well, so I just get a little bit more coverage. My eyes are very tired, and I'll get the side of my nose. It helps with like the snatching effect. But I have been super tired these days, so my under eyes need it. I need to do some better skincare and stuff at night because I have been slacking. I've been just really busy. I just get so tired and burnt out by the end of the day that I haven't really been paying attention to my skincare. Like, I mean, I'll use my face wash in the shower, but honestly, if I showered earlier in the day and I'm just taking my makeup off later in the day, I will just use a makeup wipe, unfortunately. So my skin's like very, very tired, very fatigued. I'm also very tired and fatigued, but it's okay. My goal tonight is to go to bed early. I also don't take my concealer all the way up to my lower lash line. I just don't need concealer because I smoke out my eyeshadow a lot. So I just don't need the coverage there. So, and that also helped prevent creasing as well. But that's all for the concealer. For my blush, I'm actually pulling out this palette. This is an older one. It's literally one from Amazon. It's $10-ish, maybe 12. But this looks like the Makeup Forever style type palette. That's probably what they were trying to do. But I haven't used this in a while. I think I just used this when I first got it and I just haven't touched it since. So I'm going to use like this shade right here. And let's see if I still like this, because I remember that I liked it. Yeah, that's nice. You know, for 10 bucks and you get a lot of blushes here. It's really nice. And this is a nice muted shade. And you do get like, this is like the warm side and this is the cool side. I honestly love my cool tone blushes, so I've pretty much only used the cool side on my face. But you get a nice variety. Is this like the best quality cream blushes? No, like when I think of high quality cream blushes, I think of Patrick Ta. You get a lot of pigment and everything just kind of melts in together. This is nice. It's lighter in pigment, which is really good for more beginner artists or people that want to kind of build up everything. But this is, I really like this, honestly. Now the hold and finish I haven't tested, but just putting it on and the ease of how like this blends, it does have like a little bit of a luminous finish, but it's not greasy. It's nice, but I do prefer something with like a little bit more of a dry down. But still a nice palette, especially for $10. Head and set my face. I have the About Face setting powder. What is this called? It's the Curtain Call Set and Smooth Loose Powder. And I have the shade Veil. I tried this out yesterday for the first time and I really like it, but the shade itself is a little deep for me. But it has like a nice mesh applicator, which I like, honestly. And I kind of like the lid has like this, you know, thing that kind of holds it down, so you don't have powders flying everywhere. That was one of my pet peeves. But see, you can see this is like a little deeper than what I was going for, but I can still work with it. This honestly will still probably work for me if I do like when I'm tanner. I think this will be perfect. So I'm gonna keep hanging on to this, but I am gonna get the lighter shade. And I think the lighter shade is the lightest you can get, so hopefully that works. I've seen a lot of very fair skinned people use it, but it should be fine. But I really like this and it held up super well. I've been testing out a lot of drugstore setting powders, and this is another great one. This was only $21 and I really like this. I really like the mesh packaging. I know a lot of people don't like mesh packaging things, especially like when Huda Beauty switched over to that. But I honestly like it. I think it helps. Like, again, I don't bake. I never really bake. I just set. I feel like if you bake, yeah, you're not gonna want, you know, a mesh like a sieve like this. But for me, I like to just keep adding on. I switch out these often, so I don't really have a problem with like buildup and things like that. But see, this looks like a filter on the face. It's really nice, and it's only $21 at Ulta, so it's like a nice mid-range setting powder. Because one of my favorites is Laura Mercier, and I love that, but it gets to be like near $50, I think, for a jar. But this one, it's like a nice mid-range one, but I want to test the lighter shade out too and give you my thoughts, because this, I want to see how it is as a brightening shade. But you can tell this has some pigment because, you know, you can see like kind of took away some of that brightness, but it's okay. I can roll with this one for today. The Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. This is a powder bronzer in 022 Sun Bronze. I love this. I recently got this and it's literally like $3 or $4 and it's amazing. Like, this is gonna be so hard to beat. I love the Essence one, but I think honestly for like my super affordable bronzers, this takes the cake, honestly. It's just so nice. It's not orange. It has like a nice warmth to it. I mean, I saw the pan once I opened it. I was like, oh gosh, that's so orange. I'm gonna look like Cheeto Man. But no, this actually looks so beautiful on the skin. It's nice and buildable, which is pretty much all I look for in a bronzer. But it's really, really nice. I'm getting the sides of my nose. I normally go in with like a smaller brush to get that detail, but it's fine. Okay, there we go. Nice and bronzed up. I might add a little bit more bronzer at the end. We'll see how I feel. My powder blush. I have the Milani Baked Powder Blush in Dolce Pink. I'm still kind of gathering my thoughts on this, but I know this is a very loved blush, but the color is beautiful. I love the color. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of shimmer. Like more shimmer than I want to see. So I'm kind of like, that's why I'm using the cream blush and powder bronzer duo. Like I'm kind of using this more as like a highlight. Like I'm applying this where I pretty much highlight my face for a glowy base. Like that. Bridge my nose. I'll use this as like a nice glowy blush, but that means I'm using it just like towards the top right here. But is this a blush I would use like on my cheek, like all over where I put my normal blush? No, it's too shimmery for that. Like, see, like when you look up close, I don't know if on camera you can see it, but up close I can see the little shimmer specks, and I really, really don't like that. So some people are okay with that. I don't like that at all. So this one is a no for me. If they have something that's less shimmery, I would absolutely try, because I like the formula and the shade itself. It's just those shimmers I really, really don't like. Going ahead and do my brows. This is the Absolute New York brow pencil. Absolutely love this. I also love the Morphe one. They're both very, very affordable. But this one is on its last, like this is all I have left, like this little tip right here. So I'm just trying to use this up so I can just check it out. So it's one less thing in my stash up here, but I'm filling it in a little bit deeper, or a little bit more than I normally do, because I am planning on doing a more dramatic and vibrant eye look, and I'm super excited. But I do need my brows to be just as bold to match that. Eyeshadow, I recently did like a bright blue eye look on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, should be there, and it's just so, like, I had so much fun doing it. I love the vibrant colors, and so I want to do like another vibrant look, but I use the Beauty Bay Bright Matte eyeshadow palette, and I use like blue tones, and today I want to do like the greens. So I'm really excited because I love like blues and greens on my eyes. But I tried out the neutral palettes in my last like makeup tutorial and I had some thoughts, but I feel like I like this palette better. But I'm gonna keep testing out the other palette that I reviewed and the third one that I got, but I recently hauled these for $15 on sale. So here's to testing it out even more. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. The best things you can have on hand are these brush color removers. They're so amazing when you're switching in between shades, so you don't have to keep like, especially for vivid colors. Like this is my personal one, and if I use something like this on a client, like if they're doing vivid colors and everything, I have one per client I do, and I sanitize, wash everything thoroughly. So this is just so handy. Like I have my blue eyeshadow still on my brushes right here, so I'm kind of wiping it off, and look, I don't see any of the blue right here. It's really, really nice. I don't know about like if you have a lighter bristle, but these are like a light medium gray. You can see just like a tiny, tiny bit there, but they really work well. And this brand is Lime. I don't know. I got these off of Amazon. I just keep buying these over and over again. They're really nice. Look at these colors. Insane. So it's gonna be really hard to like show the shades. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm basically going to be using like this line of shades and these neutrals. So the first, I'm gonna start off with this shade Nothing Else right here, just to really, really set my lids even more. And this will help get a smoother blend. Like no matter what vivid colors you do, you really do have to set, whether with like a setting powder or something. So it's kind of like, you know, like mixes like. So if you have, if you're trying to blend out a bright green eyeshadow, use another powder. A lot of times if I have like a Pat McGrath palette that I don't really have like a good transition shade, I'll use my translucent powder or something to help blend everything out. But this is kind of laying down a powder layer, so it'll be easier to blend these eyeshadows through. But literally it's almost the same color as my skin. I'm having this one called Bare Necessity next right here. And this will be to like really contour my eyelid. And I'm using my big fluffy brush for this. And basically starting to create that depth. And I am going to be pulling this into my brow right here where I have my like contour ending. So this look just kind of carries on into the face. This is helping create that depth in my eyes so the shades lay better. And then I'll also be going back to these shades as well to help blend those more vivid colors out. But I'm not going to be touching the center of my lid right here. I do want to keep that nice and light, even when I go in with the more vivid shades. I mean, if you do end up getting a lot of product on it like other shades, you can always use some foundation or concealer on top, but I try to just avoid that because it's just more work. And you know, more layers as well. Time to get into the vivids. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. This one's called Slice of Lime. It's so pretty. I should have done like hand swatches, but I'm using this is the Sephora eyeshadow brush. It just says shadow, but it's nice and fluffy. But first, I'm just gonna set down all the colors. So I always like to pat on my shades where I want it, so I don't have a lot of fallout. And then just blending this out. Oh, it's a really pretty like lime green shade. Really pretty, wow. Yeah, and see, because I have the other shadows already on my lid, it's already like blending out so much smoother. You know when you're looking at some eye looks and the shadows just look so smooth? It's because they have a lot of the eyeshadows on, and it's like a powdery finish because the powders are melting in together. So that's like why I really do put on a lot of shadow. Like I make sure everything's nice and covered to blend these out. Anytime I'm using like vivid colors, I always like to use more denser or like smaller brushes like these. So I have more control and I don't have like a muddy mess, and I can always add more as I go. And this has a nice amount of fluff to it where it'll blend everything out. And of course, with more dramatic looks and more vivid looks, everything just needs to be even. So take your time adding shades and just make sure everything looks even between each step. So taking the shade under my eyes and creating a blend, because I do want to also dramatically smoke out my under eye as well. Got that nice green shade going. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the shade. I guess I just wanna go ahead and dip into this one right here at the end. This one is called Labyrinth. I'm again dabbing this on and bringing this in. I love that shade. So pretty. Again, putting this on my inner corner as well and creating a nice blend. Make sure you're being careful, and like if you have any patchiness, add more shadow. Because you don't want to get to the end where you're doing your liner and then you're seeing little patches of color missing, and then it's going to be even harder to blend out then. So it's just much easier when you take it step by step like this. I take my more fluffy brush and dip into the first green shade that I use, Slice of Lime, to help me blend out these edges right here. And I'm literally laying it more on top of where I have this green, so I don't put too much of the light green like even higher. Like this. Going back in with the shadow brush, and I'm gonna smoke out my lower lash line as well. And again, I'm going pretty heavy with the smoking out here. Yeah, see? When you have like all these smooth layers, you almost just get like a halo effect. And I don't mean halo as in like this is the center. It's like the colors out here just like kind of like melting seamlessly into the rest of my face. It's just, if you take your time, it pays off. I am a lover of my blue shades. I really just want to add this navy blue. It's called Stormy Night, just into like my outer crease. I used this yesterday as well, but this one right here, so stunning. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Again, this is called Stormy Night, and I'm using a much more precise brush for this. Because remember, I can always blend out, and I'm just taking it around the tip. I'm going to create more depth. Look how gorgeous that shade is. Also making my outer, like right here, my lower lash line a little deeper and blending this out. But see, as you blend out, some of that darker pigment might go away. So just touch it up as you go. I love how that looks. But adding a little bit more to this corner to deepen it up. There you go. Beautiful. My time blending this in. I really just want to do like a bright green look, but this navy tone makes it a little bit more emerald, and that's my favorite color, so we're just gonna roll with it. Go ahead and put my lid shadow on. I'm gonna use the shade Nothing Else, which is that first shade I used, and just dab it on my eyelid with a flat brush. And I also layer these shades as well, because it just helps you get more of a pop. Really pretty. And this one's pretty much like my skin tone, which is why I'm going to be also dipping into the white shade to bring even more dimension. But I'm literally just dabbing to blend this in, and I don't want to take it too far. Okay, and then I'll use the white shade, which is just called White Lies. Tip of my brush and just dab. Yeah, these have a lot of pigment, and you guys saw I didn't put any additional foundation or anything on my lid. For my South Asian, or really anybody, have you guys seen The Royals on Netflix? It's Shahid Kapoor's little brother and someone named Bhumika, I believe. I loved it. A lot of people were being really harsh on Bhumika, but I thought she did great. I don't know what you guys think. But I'm just gonna do a wing liner. I might smoke it out. We'll see how I feel after lashes. Liner is a bit more dramatic than I was going for. I initially wanted to do like a softer liner, like smoke it out, but since it ended up being a little bit more dramatic, I'm not gonna smoke this out because it's gonna be just way too much, and I don't want to take away from, you know, the vibrantness. But I'm going ahead and lining my waterline as well. This will help bring even more like definition and focus to your eyes, so it's not just like a vivid eye look, but it's like an eye look that accentuates your eyes, you know? For looks like these, you absolutely have to wear mascara, because I'm about to put on my lashes, but when you have so many eyeshadows like here and it's falling on your lashes, and it's gonna get all over, it's gonna gray out your lashes. So if you put on lashes on top, it's just gonna look odd. I always say wear mascara even if you're wearing lashes, at least on the bottoms, but especially for full vivid looks like this, just do it. And see, like, look at my bottom lashes, it adds to the drama of the look. Just trust me, it's really good. But I'm going ahead and using the Kiss lashes in Royal Silk. I love these lashes. I got these from the beauty supply store for really cheap. So these are my favorite, and they stay on beautifully. I trimmed them a little bit to fit my eyelid size. And I used the Kiss lash glue. But see? Just like that. Look at all the drama. Beautiful. I feel like this is super niche, but you know when like you put on lashes and the glue's just like slightly cold, it just feels so good. But am I the only one that likes that feeling? Because it's just, I love putting my lashes on just to feel that feeling. So the eyes are done, but at this point, this is when I take another look to see if I want to add a little bit more shadow, a little bit more drama, blend anything out, because sometimes the lashes takes away from the eyeshadow look. So I'm just going to do a little bit blending here. Make sure everything's even, because again, vivids. And I think I'm good. What do you guys think? Okay, time to do the rest of my face. Add a little bit more blush. I'm going in with the Milani one, kind of working it into the brush, like on my lid. I just want a little bit more impact. Yeah, I just wish it didn't have so many like specks of shimmer. Otherwise, I would have been all over this blush. I would have grabbed every single shade. Yeah. It's just the shimmers. I just really don't like it. but the formula and everything just seems so beautiful. It was so close to getting the mark for me. But I mean, if you love a nice glowy blush, this is gonna be absolutely perfect for you. But I just don't like the shimmers I'm able to see just like from here over to my mirror. Nice color though. Excited about my lip combo. So I love the Sephora lip liners, the old ones. When they were on sale, like they're discontinuing them, I grabbed all my favorite shades and backups, but I grabbed one of the new formula ones. This one is in the shade Frappuccino. And time to see. When I tested this in stores, like I did the swatch, it lasted. So I'm really excited for this being like a really long wear one. So let's see. This is really creamy. The shade is beautiful. I've noticed with the new Sephora lip liners, there's a lot of like the brownie pink shades. They have a lot more than they did last time, and I absolutely love that because it's my favorite type of lip liner to grab. Automatically, I love how creamy these lip liners are, but I'm going in with Pillow Talk Fair for the center of my lips. I like to honestly, like, after I put my lipstick on, to add more lip liner, but this is such a pigmented lip liner. I don't want to layer too much on, especially with my lips being so dry. So I just use my fingers today. But I guess that's all. Ooh, okay, yeah, I really like this lip combo. Okay, let's fix up my hair. I have to, today is actually wash day and hair dye day. I'll be freshening up my hair dye. I mean, my natural hair color is like a deep, really deep brown black color, but I like to dye my hair blue black. I just love the contrast. I feel like blue black hair really suits me, but this is the look. Vivid colors don't have to be intimidating. Just take your time. I tried to be as detailed as I could in this tutorial, but pretty much it's like kind of like a basic formula, you know? So I did this all like green, bluish, like turquoise look, but you can pretty much follow the same types of steps I was doing to achieve like this look with any of these colors. I mean, for any like vivid eyeshadow, because just take your time and blend. You know, I used 2 brushes for all the vivid shades, and then just like one to pack on my lid, like the light color, and just use a nice brush cleaner remover tool when you do your makeup. It's solid. This really didn't take me that long, even though it seems like I did take a lot of time to blend. But it's really fun to do once. Just practice and it'll be fun, because then you can create super fun looks like this. And you can do this with neutral shades as well, but I feel like this is a really good guide type of video for getting this type of drama and dimension with matte eyeshadows. It was so hard to choose a color today. Like, I wanted to do like purples, but I was like, I kind of did purples recently. Let's just do something a little bit more different. So I really enjoyed doing this. But if you want to see more of my face, and where I posted the blue tutorial to this, like a very similar look, but just like bright, vivid blues, you can follow me on my TikTok and Instagram. YouTube Shorts will see it too, but TikTok and Instagram sees it first. And they do see more content as well. So you can follow me there and you'll see a lot more of that. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.